Yes, sir. I'm so excited that the Justice League Snyder Cut dropped a week ago. Everybody got to see it. I'm just really excited because I've been telling all my friends in my circle, and anybody who knows me knows I'm a DC fanboy, knows I'm a DC guy. I mean, Marvel's cool and all, but I love DC's characters, the stories, everything. Like DC was like literally the first uh comic book superheroes that I ever fell in love with, right? So, and just for you guys who want to know, it was Batman the animated series. It was literally the first thing I ever got into, and I love Batman. Batman is my guy. He's my number one hero. Whatever. But the one thing I was really waiting for was the Snyder Cut. Because if anybody knows Zack Snyder's work, he does really better. I mean, he does really good when it's a long, drawn out movie. I mean, just take a look at Watchmen. Now, I know there's people out there who don't like Watchmen. I mean, I'm like in the middle with it. I'm not a Watchmen fan, but it was really good to me because it's just like storytelling, the development. You know, Zack Snyder is the equivalent to most of our girlfriends out here. I mean, they just tell long, drawn out stories, and eventually they get to the point. So we got it. All right. So some things I really want to talk about here that I liked about the movie, and like maybe one or two things I didn't really like. The first thing I want to talk about is the drip of Darkseid. I mean, my man had no drip. He had no Omega beams. Like Dark. Here's what I want you guys to understand who don't know anything DC or have never watched the animated Justice League series, never read the comics or whatever. When Darkseid tends to show up, this man commands presence. He commands authority. Respect his authority. You know. So when he showed up, I was excited. I was like, "Yo, Darkseid, he's gonna be." The first little scene that we see where he's coming down with his minions, and he's fighting the old heroes of Earth, right? And they're getting down like, oh, this dude. I'm like, well, he's just showing up. First of all, when I am used to seeing Darkseid, let me preface this. I see him like this, all right. So when he shows up, he's like his swag is just to the roof. Like this man shows up, arms folded behind his back. He's letting you know you're not a threat to him. Like he just wants you to know how much of a non-threat he views you as. And he didn't show up like that, but it's like I mean I could live with that. But if I would have saw the Omega beams, I really would have been good with that. So, but we didn't see that. Like, and I was like, why didn't he use his Omega beams? And I was talking to a couple of my friends. They were like, well, maybe it's just early on in his career. He didn't have the Omega beams yet, because it's Zack Snyder. He's telling the story and blah blah blah. He didn't have his Omega beams, and I'm like, that's weird. I'm like, why wouldn't Darkseid have his Omega beams? That's that's one of the coolest things about the Omega beams. And for those of you who don't understand what I'm talking about when I say Omega beams, I'm talking about like think of Superman's heat blast attack, right? Now I want you to think about what if Superman could shoot like heat-seeking laser beams out of his eyes. That's what you get with Darkseid. This man has been known. His laser beams are so good, like, and they're just so crazy good that I've seen him shoot Omega beams at the Flash, and the Flash was like literally trying to outrun those things, man. And I think it was in the Justice League series, or it was in one of the movies. It was crazy. I was like, yo, those Omega beams are deadly. Like, so that's like one of the main things I didn't like is the Darkseid's presence. I mean, maybe it could get better if they greenlight the Snyderverse for the two movies that Zack Snyder said that he wanted to do to finish up the series or whatever. So here's hoping, praying, wishing on a prayer, all that good stuff that Darkseid shows up with more drip when he shows up. I mean, like when we saw him again, when Steppenwolf called him or whatever. Or no, I'm sorry, not when he called him, but when he was trying to open up the portal from. Damn it, I'm having a hard time remembering the world. But you guys know what I'm talking about. Darkseid's, planet home residence. We see Darkseid and Superman looking at each other, and it's just like he's just looking at him like, "You ain't a threat. You may be him. You may be beating him, but when I come down here, I'm gonna give you these hands right here. These hands is gonna get you." So I actually like that because like he wasn't even phased. He knew that Steppenwolf was gonna fail. I mean, they even spoke about it later on in after that scene. So just to see him walking off, see Granny Goodness on the side, and I forgot the other brother's name. I'll put it up, but and then see like his legions and him just walking away. I was like, ooh, that presence right there. That's what you want. That's what you want from a good like superhero team up movie. Is you want to see the villain like just, yeah. I mean, granted, nah, Thanos didn't have no swag, and I'm gonna stick to that. All right, so the comparison between 2021's Justice League and the 2017 version. I mean, we all seen it. Some of us have seen it. Like majority of people have seen it. Everybody's talking about it. So I mean, you've seen it. But the main difference is you can tell when you and there's been many channels, I'm not gonna shout them out, whatever, F them, but that have compared the two together, and you see Josh Whedon's version, and then you see Zack Snyder's version. Now, I'm gonna talk about Josh Whedon's version right now. His version has more banter. See, that's what Josh Whedon does. He does like the witty the witty banter and the funny jokes and stuff like that. And I think it was they did a Flash comparisons, all right, and they just showed the full clip through, and you're just like, wow, they're almost exactly the same clip. It's just that when you get to Zack Snyder's version, there's no real funny witty banter in it, and I feel like Josh Whedon's version, you don't need it. You see, that's what makes the Marvel movies good. They have a lot of funny moments. It's a little comedy thrown in there. But I feel like with the Justice League or just DC period, you don't really need that many jokes in there. Like you can throw a joke or two in there. I'm not saying you can't, but you really don't need it. So the whole Barry Allen and Bruce Wayne, moment, it looked so totally different. And I like Zack Snyder's version. It just seemed more. Seemed like it was more character development on Barry's side because you got to see how quirky he is. Fun fact, I don't really like Ezra Miller's portrayal of the Flash. I kind of like Grant Gustin's. I mean, and this is coming because I've watched the Flash TV series. I stopped at season 4, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that. Don't think I'm actually still out here watching that stuff. But I like Grant Gustin's portrayal of it than Ezra Miller's. Ezra Miller seemed like he was more like compulsive, like just weird, and like he can't make any friends. And I was like, I don't know if Barry was really like that. I mean, I think he could make friends. I think he just, he might have been a little bit weird at times. I don't know. Like I just think Grant Gustin's portrayal is way better. Like it's way more centered. Like, I mean, you guys would have to watch the Flash, the TV. Please don't watch that. I'm sorry. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I like his version of it better. But Ezra Miller was still cool. I liked it. Another comparison thing I have to say about it was that the fact that this Justice League, way more character development for the characters of Cyborg, Barry Allen, way more drawn out. So you got to see character development from other characters that have had their own movie and that we've seen, like Wonder Woman. Batman didn't have a solo movie, I guess. Yeah, technically, no, he was in there with Superman, so it kind of doesn't count. But they did. He had his own movie, so we got to see character development from him and Superman. But it was more so, more character development from these characters, and so you got to humanize these characters in a sense. You get what I mean right there, right there. I also like the fact that in this movie you got to see more Wonder Woman, and she looked way cooler than she does in her own solo movies. And that's what I was like. I was like, damn, this is dope. Like how she's just blocking all the stuff and moving fast. I'm like, yo, she looks like she's way stronger in this movie than in her own movies. I don't know. That's just my opinion of it. I mean, you guys can get in the comments and slay me, whatever, and compare them. But I just felt like I said before, it's like comparing your girlfriend to yourself. Josh Whedon would be a man, right? He gets straight to the point, but it didn't really work because this is Zack Snyder's vision. So, and you know what? I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more in the next segment. Okay, and your girlfriend who takes a long time to get there, giving you so many details and stuff, but at the end it paid off. So if that makes sense, like Zack Snyder gave you so much detail and everything was a little bit more drawn out. I mean, it's 4 hours of a movie, so I mean, it was way more drawn out. But when it got to the point, when it got to the end, it was a great payoff. Like I felt like I fell in love again with this movie, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm a DC fanboy. I kind of like the Josh Whedon Justice League, but when I saw this, I was like, oh no, that's trash. That's garbage. We're throwing that in the trash. Alright, so here we're gonna talk about the Josh Whedon versus the Zack Snyder verse. So I know a lot of people have been killing Josh Whedon on the internet about his version of the movie, but I'm gonna defend him for just a little bit. And the reason I'm gonna defend him is it's hard to take another man's work and try to finish. If you get what I mean, like if it's just like if somebody started their homework for calculus, gave it to you, and you're just looking at it and you're like, I know a little bit of calculus, but I don't know enough to finish it. So you you finish it with your own, your own answers and your own conclusions. And I mean, it may be wrong. For Josh Whedon, it was wrong. It was goddamn wrong. So what I will say about this, if Josh Whedon would have had his time to direct his own version of the movie, then Zack Snyder's turned out to be better, then we can sit up here and condemn Josh Whedon. But I don't think we really can, because at the end of the day, it's more so of DC's and Warner Brothers' fault for that. I mean, for just the guy had a death in the family. His daughter committed suicide. I mean, that was messed up. I mean, they could have held it off. Fans would have been pissed, but we would have understood, once that came out that, my man had a family situation. So for them to bring him in to finish the movie and it wasn't anything like Zack Snyder had envisioned, it's kind of messed up. So on that point, I will defend Josh Whedon. I will defend him. But I can't kind of really defend him because from what I was reading, Ray Fisher, Cyborg, he was saying that it was toxic and racist. And, I'm not here to say it's true, and I'm not here to say it's false. I wasn't on the set. I can't, confirm. But a lot of the other actors did agree with that sentiment. So on that note, I can, condemn him just a little bit. But I'm not gonna fault him for taking, liberties with somebody else's movie. If they bring you in, they tell you, hey, finish the job. I mean, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Not finish it? Like, and be like, nah, it's his J, No, so I feel like we shouldn't really condemn Josh Whedon, but on the same note, we kind of should, for the toxicity that he caused on set and stuff like that, and just bringing Henry Cavill on set and trying to tell him to shave off the mustache and all this shit, and they're going back and forth and arguing, like that type of stuff. Yeah, we can condemn him on the way he treated other people, but not on him messing up the movie, because it's not his fault. Wasn't his vision. All he could do was go through and edit it to the best of his ability. That's all he could do and finish the movie. So I'm not really mad at the guy. All right, let's break into our next segment real quick. All right, so the thing I want to discuss is Cyborg and the Flash. Two characters that should have had their own solo movies, but they were canceled because of just how bad Josh Whedon's Justice League was. And so I'm going to say this. I feel like Zack Snyder did a great job with Cyborg. we got more in this Cyborg movie. I mean, not Cyborg movie, but we got more in the Justice League movie about Cyborg than we would have needed for a solo movie. I don't even know what the solo movie would have been about. Hopefully, it would have had something to do with him versus Grid, which is like the evil AI counterpart to Cyborg. So, but I liked how, because I'm gonna keep drawing comparisons, so I'm sorry. So in Josh Whedon's version or whatever, I felt like we didn't know enough about Cyborg. I feel like he just showed up and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm a cyborg. I'm here to join you. Justice League Unite." Like, I felt like we didn't know enough about him, but I feel like seeing him dealing with the issues of losing his mother, his father not supporting him in the way in his eyes or whatever, and seeing like him losing, you know, his body and losing his humanity, only to be, you know, only to, you know, embrace becoming a hero and being more, you know, and then forgiving his father at the end and stuff. So I feel like this movie was about the Justice League, but it was more so about Cyborg, because Cyborg is the key to everything, because, you know, Cyborg was created by the Mother Box. And it's just like, I'm glad Josh Whedon. I mean, I could tell Josh Whedon probably was talking to people, or he read some of the source material. It was cool to seeing that. And then we're gonna deal with Barry Allen. I'm glad we got to see more of him, because it seems like when we first learn about him in Batman, I'm sorry, I keep tapping the table, Batman v Superman or whatever, you know, we see him and we're just like, okay, this is gonna be interesting, right? And then we see how he's dealing with the fact that his dad's locked up, you know, for the murder of his mom. Even though people who read DC comics and watch the animated stuff, you know the story. Pretty much, Eobard Thawne, which is the Reverse Flash, killed his mom, and, you know, framed his dad for it. Pretty much creating the Flash, in a sense. So, anyways, I'm not gonna give you too much of an origin story, but you get to see how Barry is really trying to get his dad out, you know, for a crime he knows he didn't commit, and he's working hard. He's trying to do all this stuff, and it's just like, while also trying to, you know, try as best as he can live a normal life, even though he has powers. And so, you know what? I kind of do like Ezra Miller's portrayal of the Flash. I just like Grant Gustin's more. After talking about that just now, I realized it. But I like how we got to see those two characters, see more of those two characters, and see them humanized on the big screen, if you will. And yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm really hoping. And you know what? This is gonna bring me to the next thing. I really hope Warner Brothers gets it through their thick skull that this franchise can make money. I mean, we just seen, and if you go look on the Rotten Tomato scores, like, I'll pull it up. The last time I checked, it had like a 91% from the fans. I really don't care about what the critics think, because they be giving like 90% to shows like Batwoman. If you've ever seen Batwoman, it's terrible. So, I mean, you never trust anything the critics say. You want to look at the fans. So the fans were really out and about with the score, and I think it was well received. And I know, like, see, and I'm gonna make another video about this, but when you try to fast track a universe filled with super powered characters and just try to bring them together, it's bound to fall apart. Now, I feel like if this movie would have came out in the theaters, all those other movies would have eventually came out. If this would have came out in 2017, we would have saw a Cyborg movie. We probably would have gotten a Flash movie already. It would have already been in the works. But I hope DC and Warner Brothers sees that this franchise can make money. I'm going to say it again. It can make money, and it can do well. And to greenlight this, and I mean, even though I know they want to move on and do all these other projects that they're talking about doing, and I'm going to speak about that in my next video, about all this stuff that they're trying to do, and it just has no cohesion. It's just everywhere. I'm going to speak on that. But for right now, I feel like they should finish what you start. Don't just put this out and be like, hey, here it is. What could happen? No. Learn that the fans appreciate this man, Zack Snyder. Bring him back. Apologize to this man and his wife. And and finish the damn Snyderverse. End. That's the end. That's the end of it. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like always, I mean, I love you guys. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. Sorry, there's no intro. I didn't introduce myself. I am Frenchie. This is my channel. Blah blah blah. Get in the comments. Tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. If you like Marvel more, hey, GG's, bro. I like DC more. Do something about it. What you trying to get into? All right. Till next time. I'll see you later. Peace.